Welcome back, guys. Today we're doing Somali rice, which is an underdog. It's so simple and phenomenal. Okay, so let's start off with the rice. I like to use 1 cup of sella rice, and what I like to do is give it a really good rinse. You want to rinse it until the water is nice and clear. Once it's rinsed, we are going to parboil it. This takes away a lot of the difficulties when it comes to making rice. We're going to cook the rice until it is al dente, so parts of the rice will start to look translucent. You want to drain it and then rinse it with some cold water just to prevent it from continuing to cook, and leave it to the side. So this dish requires some fried onions, so what you want to do is get about half an onion or a whole, depending on how many fried onions you want to use for your dish, and just slice it lengthways. Then you want to grab another onion and finely dice it. Grab yourself 1 medium-sized tomato. I like to just use salad tomatoes for this dish, and you also want to dice it. My favourite part, you want to get yourself a pestle and mortar, or you can put this in the blender if you want, and put it in a handful of coriander and about 3 to 4 garlic cloves, and you want to crush it until it starts to look like this. So now we've prepped, let's start cooking. You want to put your pan on medium to high heat and add about half a cup of vegetable oil. You want to throw in the onions that we sliced. You want to continuously stir it just to prevent it from burning, and then you want to cook it until it looks nice and golden brown, like so, and then you want to drain out the oil. Place them on a paper towel and just place it to a side for now. Now you add your diced onions. That oil is such an important step because there is such intense flavour in that oil, which is going to spread throughout the dish later on. I add in 1 chicken Maggi cube, and then you add your diced tomatoes. Let's spice things up. I'm adding 4 to 5 cardamom pods and a cinnamon stick. I like to count how many cardamom pods that I use because later on I'm going to remove them, because there's nothing more I hate than biting into a cardamom pod. Now let's add the coriander and garlic. I like to do it after the onions and the tomato because this way it keeps this intense flavour. I've added a tablespoon of ground cumin and give that a really good mix. Time to take out the 5 cardamom pods that I put in earlier on. Go ahead and add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. We want to try to create a sauce at the bottom of the dish that's going to help the rice finish cooking. As soon as the onions have become soft and translucent, it's time to add the rice. You do not want to mix this. We're simply placing the rice on top of the sauce. You want to make sure that the sauce is entirely covered, and then you want to place it on the smallest hob on the lowest heat. I'm adding 1/4 cup of raisins that I've slightly rinsed in hot water, and the onions that we previously fried. We love onions and raisins, but if you have a family member that doesn't, then place it on a corner so it's easier to separate when you serve. Is it even Somali rice if we don't add food colouring? You just want to tap just a tiny bit of food colouring in the corners. Grab a tea towel and a lid and place on top. You can use aluminium foil and cook it for 8 to 10 minutes. Yeah, you heard that right, 8 to 10 minutes. The rice is done when you can remove the lid and it releases a cloud of steam. Now turn off the heat and leave it to rest for 5 to 10 minutes. And we're done. Give it a really gentle mixing. If you want the food colouring to be much stronger, I would advise you to leave it to rest for at least 30 to 40 minutes before you start to mix it. But can we admire how delicious this looks? This rice is so moist, so flavorful. It's just delicious. It's seriously an underdog when it comes to international rice dishes, for sure.